So lately we've been learning how to write equations in slope-intercept form. And in slope-intercept form, you need what two pieces to write an equation? You need a slope, which is an m, right? So in y equals mx plus b, you need an m and a what? And a b. So what I want to teach you today is that your calculator will give you an m and a b if you have two coordinates. So it says, the stat button of your TI-84 calculator is for statistical calculations. It will solve for the slope and the y-intercept. All you need is two coordinates to use stat. So I have put the steps on here. So it says press stat, and then press enter. So everybody go find the stat button. Did y'all find it? So it's right here. So you're going to push stat, and then you're going to choose option 1 or just hit enter. And this list pops up. L1 are your x values and L2 are your y values. And that's what it says. To input your x values, you put them in L1, and your y values go in L2. Now everybody look, please. These are two coordinates. The x's go in L1, so that's your 1 and your 2. It should look like a table once you put it in. So you don't go put in 1 and 7 in the L1. So this is L1 and this is L2. So if it helps you to make a table out of those coordinates, then that's how you'll do it. So you'll go put in 1 and then hit enter, and it'll put it in L1. And then what's the other x value? 2 and push enter. And then tab over to L2 and put in your y's. So you'll push in 7 and 9. And then just kind of look at it and make sure that's those coordinates. So 1, 7, 2, 9, and it's good. Yes? Then it says, then press stat and tab over to the calc menu. So push stat again. And then do y'all see at the top how it says calc? Because we want it to calculate the slope and the y-intercept. So arrow over to it. And then it says you're going to press option 4. Why are we pushing option 4? It's linear, and it's mx plus b. Now, for some reason, the calculator says ax instead of mx, but it's the same thing. So you're going to push option 4. You can literally just push the number 4. And then you're just going to arrow down to calculate and hit enter. And it's going to give you your slope and your y-intercept. So what is the slope? And what is the y-intercept? And I put that on here, and I know that's a bad screenshot, but it says the slope is 2, the y-intercept is 5. And so you would write your equation, y equals 2x plus 5. Now, I didn't teach you this at first because I didn't want you to not learn how to do them by hand. You have to know how to do them by hand. But you absolutely can go check all your answers with the calculator, okay? And you'll see on Monday why you have to know how to do them by hand, because Monday the calculator won't solve them all for us, okay? So flip to the back and let's just do 3 examples in stat. All right, so go back to stat. Now where do I go? Edit. Now, if you want to clear your whole list, scroll up to where it says L2 and hit clear, and then hit enter, and it'll clear the whole list. You can also hover over it and hit delete, but the problem with this, everybody watch this, if I go up to L1 and I hit delete, it deleted the entire list, and you won't be able to use stat if you do that. So to restore your list, you go to stat, set up, hit enter, and it'll restore that list for you. And you'll see L1 is back there. You can't use L2, L3. It has to be L1, L2. Everybody good? Okay, so let's go put this in. What goes in L1? 2 and -4. So 2 and -4. And then in L2, your y's. So -7, enter, and 8. And then, of course, just kind of double check to make sure you put it in right. So 2, -7, -4, 8, and you're good. Now where do I go? Stat. Calc. So arrow to calc, option, and then arrow down to calculate, and hit enter. So my slope is negative 2.5 and my y-intercept is negative 2. So y equals negative 2.5x minus 2. All right, let's try this one. Where do I go? Stat. Now what? Enter. So edit. And then delete your list. You can either just hit delete, delete, or you can tab up and hit clear. But you can't tab up and hit delete. So I'm putting in 5 and 7. And then 3 and 11. And they do have to be written side by side. So if you put 5 first, then 3 has to be the first L2 because it's going in as a coordinate. Make sense? Okay, now what do I hit? Stat, calc, option, and then calculate. So y equals, what's the slope? So 4x, what's the y-intercept? Negative 17, so minus 17. Now, if you have a table and you know it's linear, you don't have to put all the coordinates in, you only have to put in 2. But if you don't know if it's linear, because we're going to get into scatter plots later, you do have to put in the whole table. Okay? But right now we're only doing linear things. So just stat, edit, and then you would only have to put in the 2 coordinates, and any 2, it doesn't matter. So I put in 0, 2, and 3, 11, stat calc, and there's my equation. Y equals 4x plus 3. Notice what the y-intercept is. Look right here. 0, 3, and it's telling me the y-intercept is 3. So y equals 4x plus 3. What do y'all think about stat? It's awesome. And on the EOC, if they say, what's the slope? Go use stat. If they say, what's the y-intercept? Go use stat. I'm perfectly fine with that. Okay, if they say, write an equation and they give you 2 coordinates, go use stat. But there are some few times that you can't use stat, so that's why we have to make sure we know how to do it by hand. So what I'm going to allow you to do for the rest of the period is take your 2 assignments, and we're going to grade them on Monday, which is 5-1 and 5-1 more. And I want you to go through and check your answers with stat. And then I want you to get a Chromebook and get on IXL. You need to make sure that the quiz I posted is completed. And then you need to go on your dashboard, see anything that I put a star on, and work on it. Okay?